What's up everybody? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Ivan and today we're going to talk about acid, chemical exfoliants for the skin. I am a huge fan of chemical exfoliants. I actually don't hate physical exfoliating. I know a lot of people out there are sort of saying that physical exfoliating is terrible for the skin, it causes micro tears, all that stuff. But I find that personally for me, I like a little bit occasional physical exfoliant. It's your choice. Your skin, your decision. Am I right? I use a lot of products, so I really want to recommend like the best ones that I've tried so far. Everybody's skin is different. I want to preface this by saying I'm not a dermatologist. I am a skincare lover and I read a lot of skincare articles and journals. If you are looking for great resources, I will leave it down below. I love Michelle from Let Muffin Science. I love Gothamista. They're all really great resources for skincare. As you know, the skin is the largest organ on the body. It covers your entire body. Cell growth occurs on the base of the skin and sort of pushes out old cells. Naturally, your skincare cells will start to slough off or like just come off by itself, but sometimes we need a little bit of help for exfoliating and getting rid of that toughness and that flakiness and that roughness. And HAs and BHAs and PHAs, like acids in general, are great to aid with that, to reveal younger, brighter, and just healthier skin in general. It just aids with the exfoliation process. AHAs stand for alpha hydroxy acids. AHAs are water soluble, which means they do not penetrate like as deep as BHAs into the skin. They're also humectants, so they are good for people with drier skin types. So if you're a dry skin kind of person, AHAs is something you want to definitely try. What falls under AHAs are your glycolic acids, your lactic acids, and your mandelic acids, and those are all very great exfoliators for the skin. I find that a combination of all of these actually work the best for me. When I use AHAs, my skin just looks kind of like tighter and more hydrated if I don't use too much, and also it looks like an apple peel, sort of like glowier. They are really great at treating hyperpigmentation, texture, just overall brightness in the skin. They just brighten up dull skin. So when applied to the skin, AHAs do stimulate cell renewal, and I find that they're not as irritating as BHAs for me personally. Moving to BHAs, and BHAs are more lipophilic, which means they are able to penetrate a little bit deeper into your pore lining and your sebaceous follicles to sort of gently clear and exfoliate and just slowly get rid of that gunk. If you have sebaceous filaments, you have blackheads and whiteheads, all of that is not gonna come out in like a day or two, unfortunately. I find that it usually takes a couple weeks for it to completely clear out, and BHAs are really good at that. When I shave, sometimes I get ingrown hairs, and I will apply BHAs on top of it, and I find that it is very effective in terms of slowly pushing everything out to the surface. Same with acne and pimples, breakouts in general. It does take a little time for all of that to come to the surface. Combination of AHAs and BHAs will do that. So BHAs, in my opinion, are a little bit more harsh, but they are effective. And the thing with AHAs and BHAs both is that they will cause some sun sensitivity. So if you are planning on using them in your routine, please wear sunscreen, please. We get stressed, Lord knows. We get anxious, we get pollution, especially when you're living in some of the cities right now. LA is burning down, Australia is burning down, y'all. Climate change is happening. Not in 10 years, like right now. Sunscreen is one thing you can do 10 seconds a day to protect your skin from those UVA and UVB rays. If you have oily skin or enlarged pores, BHAs will definitely help refine that. Pore size is not something you can shrink. You can sort of refine the appearance of it, but nothing's gonna really shrink that. But exfoliating and keeping your pore lining clean and exfoliated will definitely help with that. You know those bumps under the skin that you sort of have to extract? Like if you go to an esthetician or a dermatologist, they'll like sort of extract it for you. Don't do it at home, guys, but a BHA will help with that, and I think over time it will flatten out those bumps. I get a lot of DMs from you guys telling me that BHAs have helped you guys a lot, so I'm really happy with that. The new ingredient PHAs are called polyhydroxy acids. They are lactobionic acid and gluconolactone and also galactose. They're actually a part of the AHA family, but their molecules are a little bit bigger than glycolic acids, so they won't penetrate as deep into the skin, in turn will cause less sensitivity. So they're a good starter step in terms of if you're gonna try out you know, these exfoliating acids for skincare. They are also great antioxidants and just less irritating in general. And all of these, honestly, when you're trying out like exfoliating acids, it's good to do a patch test. Even if these products are sort of like cult favorites or being raved about, I still think everybody's skin is very different. You need to really patch test and try out if these products are okay for you. A lot of people argue that a low pH level is necessary for these acids to work, but I think Steven had a post that says it doesn't really matter. If you want to know more about acids and just the science of skincare in general, I really recommend Michelle's website and Instagram. Username is lab-method-science, so I will link that down below. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky in terms of finding what you want, and I have too many products. Like I have more than 10 that I try out, but I really want to narrow it down for you guys just because realistically, as a beauty blogger, I just love trying out products, so I have that many, but realistically, you really don't need like all of these, honestly. Just pick and choose whichever you think is the most comfortable for you in terms of price range, ingredients, and also, you know, whatever suits your skin type the best, right? Since there are so many products, I'm gonna break it down in terms of beginner, ease of use, and also sensitivity wise. Also to note, I generally use exfoliating acids at nighttime and I use the sunscreen in the daytime. I don't typically like applying these kind of products in the daytime. Usually in the daytime, I will only use like an antioxidant filled serum or a vitamin C serum or something like that under my sunscreen. Sometimes guys, more is not more, right? So you wanna see how your skin reacts to the products. If you have breakouts and like congested skin, I know like the instinct is to just keep piling on these products, but when you buy it, like I know I do, when I get a toner, I'm like, rip it off, like, bro, give it to me! Let's try little bit by little and then seeing how your skin reacts to it. The first product I think is like a cult classic that a lot of people love, and I love it too. This is the PAULA'S Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. It only has a couple of ingredients. It's a very simple leave-on liquid. You can call it a toner. It's called like a liquid exfoliant, and this is a 2% BHA liquid. It is a cult classic. People smother it all over their face, and this is like the original formula, I think. I do like this one. It feels like a very viscous water. It does leave like a slight film on the skin. I really don't mind that anyways because I put moisturizer on top. I use this at night and I find that it does refine your pores and texture and everything like that. Paula Begon, which is the founder of PAULA'S Choice, actually says you can use it a little bit under the eyes too. I would be very careful with that. If that's just my personal experience. Like I don't like using these acids too close to the eyes, but if you do have milia, I find that this one really does help. Most of these acids actually like help the appearance of milia because I used to have a lot here, but ever since I started using these more like closer to the eye, I noticed that it's like getting smaller and like less bumpy. Because when you apply makeup, especially like highlighter around milia, it shows up, right? Like you know what I mean. It's just like, it's just there. Very good for acne prone skin as well. And just anybody looking to refine their routine. If you are beginner, like a beginner into skincare and you want to try out something, this is the ALOE and BHA skin toner. This is by BENTON, and it is I think this is a Korean product. Yeah, it is. You can get this on Glam. It is a 0.5% BHA, so it's a pretty mild BHA, which I like, and it does contain aloe, which is good for hydration and also calming the skin. It does contain snail filtrate, so if you are vegan and you don't want any snail products, this is not the product for you. It also contains hyaluronic acid, so if you have dry skin and you want to try out a BHA product, this is a great toner. And these are These are all fragrance free unless I will tell you otherwise, and I think this one's fragrance free as well. Comes in a pump, so it's super easy to use. It's a slightly viscous liquid as well. Here we have like 8% BHA, and like AHAs we have like 10 to 15, but I think in Japan and Korea they only get 0.5% of BHA, so we are lucky. Next product is also Korean skincare product, and this is from Sun By Me. This is a fairly new product compared to the one I mentioned before. This is an AHA, BHA, and PHA toner. I'm not sure what the percentage of this is, but it has gained quite a cult following, and I typically use this when I'm really breaking out. It also contains 2% niacinamide, which is vitamin B3, and that vitamin B3 just is a great ingredient for the skin. I know some people are allergic to it, it causes some skin flushing, but if your skin can handle vitamin B3, it is a great skin conditioning agent. Also brightens up the skin and also sort of regulates your pore size. It contains tea tree. So this one's a controversial one. Like, some people really like it, some people really hate it. I like it because tea tree does not irritate my skin. Some people think tea tree is irritating for their skin. It really depends on you and how sensitive your skin is. If you have really sensitive skin to like any kind of essential oils or fragrance or extracts, like, I would avoid this. But if you think your skin can handle this, and if you break out a lot, I really like this one for cleaning my skin. You can read the reviews on this. It's a very watery toner, so it's a true non-viscous toner. I actually really like the smell of eucalyptus and tea tree. I don't know, something about it smells really nice to me. Another one that I like is this antioxidant pore purifier by Paula's Choice, and this is more like a serum type one. And this is also 0.5% BHA, and I use it in the daytime because it does contain a lot of antioxidants, and it layers really well under sunscreen. It's like a gel-like texture, so it's a little bit more moisturizing than the other toners over there. It does dry down though, and it also is fragrance free. So if you're looking for a simple, gentle serum, this would be it. If you want to like just sort of clear your pores and everything. It is called a pore purifier. So this is the applicator, you just drip it. It's very easy to use. I really do like the Defense line by Paula's Choice. If you're looking for sunscreen, they make really good sunscreen for this line. So like I said, you don't really need all of these products. I just want to tell you my experience with them. This is the Birch Milk Refining Toner. Okay, so one thing about this toner is that it does contain AHA and PHA. It's a glycolic acid based toner. I think it's only 1%, so it's not like super strong. It does contain birch juice and marshmallow root to brighten up the skin and sort of give hydration. So this one also contains shea butter and olive oil in the toner, so it's a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more nourishing than the other toners that I mentioned. So if you have drier skin types, it's definitely a thicker toner than the others. Also a glass bottle. It feels really nice and luxurious, and I do like the periwinkle color. I think it's really, really cute. This brand, Then I Met You, is created by the founder of So Glam, which is Charlotte, and I'm really, really glad. It's gaining a lot of traction. A lot of people are saying it really helps with their breakouts. So I've been using this day and night. I really like it. It's not too strong, it doesn't sting or anything like that. And most of these beginner products that I just mentioned, they really don't sting because the concentration is quite low and it's quite gentle. This toner also contains lactic acid, which is a good brightening acid. It helps with brightening hyperpigmentation, any dark spots that you have. It's not gonna be like overnight brightening, like, you know, like, oh my god, my skin's like, all my spots are gone. No, but over time it does really help with that. This one is the Clear by Paula's Choice. It is very, very similar to the original 2% BHA exfoliating liquid, but this one has a little bit more calming agents. This one has panthenol and allantoin, which are skin conditioning agents, and this one dries down to more of like a matte finish. The 2% BHA will leave like a slight film, which is good for people that have dry skin, but this one is good for people with oily skin. It dries down completely. It feels more like a water than a viscous texture, so it could get a little bit more messy application wise because products that are more watery tend to just like, you know, like drip all over. You can use this as a cotton pad or your hand. I just use my hand because I don't have a trash can next to my skincare area, so the cotton pads will just be left there for days. And like my cat will play with it. Yeah. So this one's really, really great for people that are breaking out a lot, and purging might occur, might not. Some people experience that, some people don't. For me, yes. I think like when I feel something under the skin, it definitely comes out like slowly, and then, you know, like you'll get like a whitehead, and this will help aid in all of that. Moving on to products that have a little bit more kick to it. Like it's like you'll feel it on your skin, you know, it's like a little bit stingy, if that makes sense. So, oh, if you have questions about cleansers with it, it really is up to you. I'm a messy cleanser person, so I always get them in my eye. And any cleanser with BHA and AHA, honestly, it will sting your eye. I still have one, the clear one by Paula's Choice, but when it gets into my eye, like legit, it like stings. And I also have the 2% mandelic acid one by Wish Trend. It works really, really well, but that shit stings if it gets into your eyes. Okay, the next product is also a cult classic. It's kind of expensive, but also a lot of people think it's worth it, so it's really up to you if you want to spend your bucks on this, because I do think it does work, but I also think it's quite pricey. So it is the T.L.C. FRAMBOOS Glycolic Night Serum by Drunk Elephant, and this retails for $68, I think, or something like that. It is a 12% AHA BHA blend. I don't really know what the blend is, but it comes out as a gel. So out of all of these babies right here, this is the only one that is sort of like a thicker gel consistency. This does sting, not gonna lie. If I have some like open pimples and cut skin, like this one will sting. And I really like try to use this maybe like twice a week, but it does really work. It makes your skin look like a baby's butt. You know, like when you wash it off in the morning, you're like, whoa, like my skin is so exfoliated and bright. It does work, yes, but it's quite harsh also. It is completely fragrance free. It does contain green tea for antioxidant benefits, and also sodium hyaluronate, which is hyaluronic acid, which is another kind of acid that is not exfoliating but actually moisturizing. Yeah, I really do like this. Once you've sort of built your tolerance with other products, you can sort of go in with this. I think Hannah swears by this, and she says this really helped clear her acne and her textures. I mean, it's a solid product, you know, can't really dog it, and the applicator is very easy to use, like pump. So I find myself, I do reach for this when I feel like my skin is quite congested, and you know, some days when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, damn, I haven't exfoliated, I look oily AF. And it's like somebody put a sharpening filter on your nose. You know those feelings? Like those days? I'll reach for this on those days. Okay, my cats are like trying to come in, so here they are, you know, like walking around. Hi, say hi. This is my pudgy cat, meow meow. Dance. Dance! The last product is sort of like a mask, and this is from BIOSSANCE. I really, really like it. It is, I mean, I've used half of it. It is a glycolic and squalane renewable mask, and squalane is an ingredient that is sort of like a humectant for the skin, so it really moisturizes your skin, but it also contains glycolic and lactic acid in it, and it also contains apple extract for antioxidant benefit. I really like it. It contains like little small granules, which some people like and some people don't like. The granules are very, very sparse, so you don't have to worry about that like scratching your skin and making it terrible. I just leave it on anyways and just wash it off. And this is a nice way to feel pampered, I guess. This does contain some essential oils like lemon. So if you know you're pretty far down the list, if you don't want to use essential oils completely, then you know you want to avoid this. But for me, I find that it is a very nice texture. It does refine your skin, and I usually use it on wet skin actually. After I double cleanse, I put this on for 10 minutes and then I jump into the shower and wash everything off. I like efficiency. Like, I don't actually shower and wash my skin and then put this on again and then wash my skin again. Like, nah, I don't have time to do that. And I find that like when you use the right skincare products, I don't think you really need to use face masks that much, because you know, when you're layering your essences and your toners and all that, like it should be enough to keep your skin like supple and also healthy already. Hi, you wanted to come in? These are the products that I really enjoy. There are a bunch others that I did not like. I know Paula's Choice has a bunch of exfoliating skincare. I tried one from Good Molecules, which I really wanted to like because it was an affordable product, but it ended up like really drying my skin out. And then I checked the ingredient list, there was alcohol in it, and I'm like, why do brands still... No. I also tried out some products from The Ordinary, and there are some very affordable products, so it's really up to you. Make wise decisions. Like I said again, you don't need all of these products. You really don't, and if you already have like BHA products, like just use them. If you're breaking out and you feel insecure about your face or your body or whatever it is, like please don't. I know all these things I'm talking about is like all fun and like beautiful, but really you are a super well-rounded person and your skin is just one part of you. And I really hope that you can find confidence, especially with good skincare, that you won't feel like it's hindering you from pursuing what you want in your life. I know how it feels to have to feel like people are staring at your face when you're speaking. I definitely have felt that before. And yeah, I want to tell you that it's okay. Like, acne is normal. Nobody is gonna be like free of acne forever. Like, I still break out. Breaking out is inevitable, and I also try to remind myself that just because I'm in front of the camera all the time, and sometimes I feel like I don't want to film because I have breakouts. Just things like that, you know, because when I'm talking about skincare, I feel like people are staring at my skin more. So when I'm breaking it, I feel like, oh, why would anyone listen to me? Let me know if you have any other skincare questions down below. I will try my best to address them and tell you my personal experience with them. I think I'm gonna do a retinol or a vitamin C one next because I have been trying out some products. But thank you guys for all the questions, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.